Hello, my creepers. It's Creepy Nessie here, back again with some talks about horror movies. And this time we're gonna do one B-rated movie that could flop or not flop. You decide on that if you want to watch it. But I hope everyone has been doing very well lately. Things have been good over here. And again, I really appreciate the patience here. I am trying my best to talk about these, edit these, and just post it. So, yeah. I see that I've been getting some views, which I really appreciate. But again, I'm just doing this because I like to do it. I've always wanted to do this, and yeah. If you like my opinion on them and my voice or the way I edit these want to make you watch it, then that's awesome. Like I said, these movies are becoming obsolete because nowadays there's just so much movies out there, and no one really watches the B-rated movies to have a good laugh, you know? But all right, let's go ahead and get right into it. First question, because you know I like to open up with questions. Do y'all have a favorite spot on y'all's couch that y'all constantly go to where you fight your siblings or your significant other for? I do. It's typically my right side of my couch. That's my spot. I even fight my dogs over it because I'm like, no, it's my spot. Or if you have a recliner that you love in your house and always gonna sit there and kind of be a Sheldon, I guess. Well, in this horror movie right here, what if that couch or that spot ends up attacking you and really becomes possessive over you? That's right, guys. So we're gonna be talking about Killer Couch. This movie came out in 2018. It's a killer recliner becomes enchanted by a girl and starts committing crimes of passion. And yes, guys, I said passion. So you know what that means? There is a love thing going on. So it starts out with the female lead. Her name is Francesca. She is a beautiful dancer, as the scene right here. She's dancing the beginning to this song. She's dancing very, seductively until you got two homicide detectives come in, and dude, guess what their names are? Detective Gravy is the male and Detective Grape is the female. I don't know where they came up with those names, but okay. So they sit down with Francesca and her best friend Maxie. Francesca believes that she is cursed because every time that she is involved with someone, they end up getting very obsessed with her. This curse becomes to the point where she's dating a guy who plays for the other team, and she's just kind of ignoring that fact and loving the fact that he is not sexually attracted to her at all. Which I get it. She has like 5 restraining orders for different men, so that's totally understandable. One of the guys that was obsessed with her was named Federico. She really can't catch a break because this guy is an occult member and also practices voodoo. So you know what that means. Obsession, voodoo, then there comes possession. Like I said, the detectives sit with Francesca and Maxie talking about they found Federico's legs and feet cut up pretty much. But they never said that they found the rest of his body. So they pretty much assumed that he was already dead. And the way that it was described, they're like he probably bled to death or something and you can't find the rest of his body. So Francesca was telling them about her curse, and you could actually look at Detective Gravy. You see how he's looking at her? It's like an instant attraction, which is freaking weird. Then it goes on to the recliner. So the recliner is actually in a storage unit that was owned by Federico. You have 3 people who are going to move the couch for Francesca because she called this moving company to do that. They see the couch chained up, which honestly, that would be my first flag. Why is this couch chained up? I mean, you can probably say to keep it against the wall. But at the same time, I don't see you do that. So as soon as she picks it up her fingers, literally it chops down on her fingers, almost cutting it off. Look at this. That's so gnarly. The movers end up getting the wrong address and taking it to Maxie's granddad's antique shop. The granddad already has psychic powers, so whenever he saw the couch, he had the urge to touch it. And once he touched it, he had visions coming through his mind. The acting on this part, I laughed really hard at because I guess I'm an inner child. His face and everything, I was just okay, you judge for yourself right here, guys. But the vision goes to him being in a weird forest and seeing a girl running and also people chasing after her. So I'm going to stop right there because there's more depth to the vision that comes out later and I'll show you more. But so they end up delivering it to the right place, which is Francesca's house. Francesca lives with her boyfriend and he helps pull it up. So just look at this couch though. Like you see it clearly has eyes and a open gap for a mouth. Like it's kind of cute, but at the same time, like I don't like that it has a face. Of course, the first victim is gonna be the boyfriend. So the boyfriend ends up coming home from being out all night with some other guys. She ends up going to the police station because that's when they tell her that he was in practice with some voodoo stuff, and while he was at home making pizza for himself, the recliner ends up taking his little spring out and getting closer to him and jamming it right into his calf, and you can hear it crunching and twisting. So the good thing is he was able to escape and hide in the bathroom, trying to tie off his calf so he doesn't lose any more blood. And that's when he calls Francesca. You know that there's no survivors whenever a possessed object doesn't kill you for the first time. This is also hilarious to me because I don't know how this couch could climb a 2-story window, and you just see the springs right there just like blocking the window, going in and just like killing him right there on the spot next to his bed. With the granddad having visions, he actually finds out what it is, and it's I'm gonna pronounce this so wrong. It's either a dubuk or a dubik. Not sure how it's pronounced, but they pronounce it as dubuk in the movie, so I'm just gonna say dubuk. In Jewish mythology, it is a malevolent spirit that needs to attach to itself to a living host. I'm pretty sure that you have heard it before because debug boxes are still popular right now in the YouTube era, which I'll put, like, look at these ones right here that I've found because of Zach Bagans, I believe. But me reading off this actual documentation of the book, it's a disembodied human spirit that, because of its formal sins, wanders the world until it finds a haven in a body of a living person. So make sure you keep that in mind because it's going to explain some other stuff later on. Before the boyfriend got, viciously murdered and attacked, the couch actually made food for her. Okay, honestly, minus the killing and the weird face, if I had a couch that made food for me, that would be cool. I would totally be fine with it, honestly. Like I said, whenever the boyfriend comes in from being out with the guys, he ends up eating one of the cookies and you see the couch scooting away from him. He's like, basically, that's not your food, man. Like, stay back. Francesca can't really take a break because on top of the murderer's couch, she has another stalker. That stalker is actually Maxie's cousin, Ralph, and he is more of a creeper. So he ends up kind of blocking her, saying like, hey, are you gonna answer me? And he like points at his wedding finger, and she's like, I'm not gonna marry you. I have a boyfriend, and also like, you're fucking creepy. He looks creepy. Like, no, thank you. And this dude breaks into her place. Mind you, this dude actually lives across from her place too, and he goes around the living room, and you see the couch literally facing towards him, first the left and then the right. Like, dude, like, really? You're seriously gonna do this? Like, you can see the attitude on this couch's face. It's like possessive and just like, really, dude? This dude already has cameras in her living room, which we see later on, and then he decides to go into her bedroom, have her bra and her hat laid out on the bed, and fondles himself on top of the bed. Look how this couch moves. It's weird. And I don't know why, but he kills him with an iron. You have springs. Use your springs again. Like, what it explains about the Dubik is that each kill that he does, it ends up getting stronger. Francesca finally sees that the couch moves and freaks out. And of course, she goes outside and calls Maxie. So Maxie comes and she ends up putting her into a hotel room for a while. The strange thing is that Francesca starts getting attached to the couch. She ends up grabbing Maxie's arm really hard and be like, can you go by my house and make sure the couch is okay? Just like kept asking her. And then she instantly changed the subject. It was kind of like something else was possessing her. Took over for a slight second, but then went away, I guess you can say. So Maxie does end up going to the house, but not because of Francesca. Her grandfather calls her and tells her about the couch and what it is, and she didn't question it. She's like, I knew something was wrong with that couch. So she offers to go to Francesca's house and bring it back to her granddad so he can like try to do like a ritual to get rid of it, which in this case put it back in a box, the Dubik box. I'm pretty sure if you like to watch the paranormal, you've seen it before. It's usually a box with Hebrew around it, and it's also sealed with wax. Inside, it has the belongings of the possessed person, so it can be trapped in there forever unless someone ends up cutting the wax off of it and then releasing it into the world. Zach. Anyways, as Maxie goes into the house, she ends up going there very quietly because of the couch. She sees the couch disposing her cousin's body over the balcony into the trash can. It's so funny how he's like using his recline to like push him up the couch and then have him over the couch. But of course, in every horror movie, you cannot be quiet. There's something on the floor that makes a noise. In this case, it was a clothing pin. She steps on the clothing pin, the couch looks at her, and she starts running. And you see the couch like literally right behind her. Like, this couch is fucking fast. Like, dude, like, how are you so fast and you're so heavy? She drops her keys. She locks herself into the bathroom. You know, there's a doorknob and then you got 4 bolts into it and one of them is missing. The couch is actually looking through it, seeing what she's doing, and she's about to jump out the window. She looks at the only place that she could land safely probably was the trash can. And then she jumps in there, but she ends up hurting herself really badly. And the couch thought she was already dead and just closed the lid on her, and that was that. The couch ends up going to the kitchen sink and starts talking. And it starts to mumble Valerie. And Francesca is in a motel and she starts hearing it. She starts hearing Valerie. I thought that was really weird. And I don't know, we don't know who the Valerie is at this point right now. She leans deeper into the sink and she hears it more and more clearly until the detective scared her and banged her head on the sink. But I thought that was just funny right there. And then she tells her that Maxie went missing and she hasn't came back. They all end up going back to Francesca's house and they find Mixie's keys. So with that being said though, they try calling her again and that's when they discover Rouse's dead body. The detectives are looking at the body and Valerie is whispered throughout the house and she looks behind her and she sees the couch literally saying Valerie. She screams bloody murder, runs out of the house and drives away. And then she ends up going to the ocean, which, by the way, this is a very beautiful scene. I'm pretty sure this movie takes place in New Zealand, if I am not mistaken, because I think they did mention New Zealand. But, I mean, this scene is very pretty. The granddaddy calls her saying that we need to talk, and then that's where the whole rundown comes in. So, apparently, Francesca is a Dubuque herself. Because remember when I said that it has to be attached to a living person? Well, the vision the granddad had already with the girl running away and the people catching her is because the girl who ran away, or who was running away, is a witch. Her and her husband were practicing witchcraft. When the girl is running away, there is a peasant girl in front of her and she ends up seeing a knife. She grabs the knife and then kills herself in front of this peasant girl. Apparently, the peasant girl is actually Francesca's great-great-grandmother, Marie. As soon as Valerie killed herself in front of the great-grandmother, a somewhat of a curse happened. For generations, Valerie has been following family members throughout generation, and Francesca is it now. So that kind of explains why men go crazy over here, I guess, in a way. We're coming towards the end. So the end of it now, they found out Francesca is a Dubic by herself. And they find out and they know that the couch is a Dubic. And also Gerard, the lover, is inside the couch with Federico. He is using Federico's corpse as a storage for his soul. But pretty much another way that Dubics can be is if they use a corpse to store their soul in there, they can live until the next viable vessel is available. Which in this case, dun dun dun, right here, it is Detective Gravy. Just to go a little bit back, because I'm kind of jumping all over the place. If you want to watch the whole movie, by all means watch the whole movie. But of course, it's not in order. So plan is to put the Dubic into the box and burn it. Granddad was making the box and everything. Francesca was in her own little vision while he was doing that, and he has heart problems. Ever since he touched the Dubic, he ended up having a lot of health issues, especially with his heart. So he's been taking a lot of aspirin. He ends up getting another vision and ends up having a heart attack. And he's like, kind of like, he can't talk right now. So he's like reaching for the bottle, and Francesca sees him, and this is so stupid. So you see the box and you see the bottle of aspirin. He is clearly reaching for the bottle of aspirin. And she grabs the box like, okay, I can do this. And then she runs off, leaving this poor man to have a heart attack. Cool. The other funny thing is that the granddad's girlfriend comes home, sees him, and she's on the phone and he's still reaching for the bottle of aspirin. Like, someone give him an aspirin. So Francesca runs to her house. She has gasoline. She has the box. She's pushing the box against him, saying like, get in, get in, get in. The couch is pushing the box back. She starts dousing the couch in gas. But this girl is literally dousing herself. Like, she's practically wet, and I don't even see the couch wet at all. She got the confidence now. She's like, I did it. I put gas on him. She goes into her drawer in the kitchen, takes out matches. She's like, all cocky, like, starts lighting the match and pointing it at him. Like, here, this is what I'm gonna do. Pretty much that little attitude. The couch blows it out. She does it again. Holds it. Couch blows it out. Again. He keeps blowing it out. And I'm like, when I'm watching this, I'm like, just throw it. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, then she starts getting frustrated. And I just think that's just hilarious. I was laughing so hard. I was like, logic has no meaning in B-rated horror movies. So she starts feeling hopeless. And then, dun 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 dun, Detective Gravy comes in, shoots the couch, and then the couch, like the top part, falls off and it shows Federico's corpse, face off and everything, and then shoots it in the head, and then boom, done. As of right now. So like I said, Gerard is stored in Federico's corpse body. They think everything's good and everything. Francesca goes to the bathroom, freaking out, crying, trying to take these pills that she's been taking. But Valerie finally shows herself, grabs her, and possesses her, and that is the end of Francesca. So Valerie is now possessed over Francesca. She's acting like everything's fine, like everything's over, and she asks Gravy out on a date. Detective Gravy comes over, has a little date with Francesca. She poisons Detective Gravy like she poisoned other people whenever actually alive with Gerard, and Detective Gravy dies, but he was the perfect vessel for Gerard. So the couch, you got this little mystical witchcraft thing going on right now. Gerard's soul is transferred into Detective Gravy. He stands up. He's all fine. They're being very lovey-dovey. And that is the end. And Francesca's soul is forever inside the couch's eye. Which, Maxie, you see her right here. She did not die, but she had a huge, huge glass in her head to where the real Detective Gravy was like, are you okay? Like, I'm sorry, but I'll get mad if you're asking me if I'm okay with the giant ass glass in my head. But yeah, guys, that is Killer Couch. I hope you like this little review. Give me some ideas of like what I should do differently when I'm editing these videos, or, you know, give me ideas on movies that you would like me to see if I have not seen it already, because like I said, I am a horror buff. But thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. And again, I appreciate your patience so much. Y'all do stay creepy and stay tuned. Bye.